Okay, okay, guys. So welcome everyone. So I see some more people are joining in. Yeah. I hope you are able to hear me all clearly. Please just give me a confirmation. Hello, guys.
Yes, yeah,
Okay, perfect. Huh? So I just wanted to interact with some of you. Actually, I wanted to know a little bit about your background, what exactly you do. Like just spoke with a couple of people like Venkat, Shikha. I just, uh, okay. Deepa also like my past student as well. Okay. And now just Rupa. So it's glad to interact with you. Maybe I can pick up just one or two more people and then we can get started. So I see Arpita. Oh yeah. Hi Arpita. So welcome. So, and I see, okay. So I'm just randomly
Hi,
picking out.
sir. Good evening.
Good evening. So next person that I see is Dhaval Shah. So Dhaval, if you can hear me out.
yes,
Okay. Yeah. Just let me know a little bit about you, your background. What exactly are you looking out for? And are you just starting out with Playwright? Or how's it?
yes. My name is Dhaval. I have almost 13 years of experience. I'm located in Bay Area, San Jose, California.
Okay.
I want to upscale, like I'm good in Selenium as well as mobile automation engineer using the APM, Selenium, and Tosca also.
Okay.
I want to upscale skill my skill using the JavaScript or Playwright TypeScript because I never have experience of this
Mm-hmm.
tool. But most of the companies nowadays, I see that moving to the Playwright instead of Selenium, and so I want to upscale my skill. But I
Mm-hmm.
have the last 6, 7 years of a good automation experience in the Bay Area.
Okay. Glad to see this.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I'm yet to meet somebody who's from Indian time zone. So most of you are from outside. Okay, glad to hear this. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And one thing I would really like to clear this part, guys. So Selenium is not dying. Yes, this is a playwright course, but I'm not here to badmouth about Selenium. No, Selenium is not at all dying. Selenium is considered more like a standard now. Okay, but
Mm.
yes, it is super advanced. Playwright is super fast. It has a lot of advantages. That is why a lot of companies are moving towards Playwright. Okay, so yes, so okay. So now okay, we still have maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. I'll just handpick one or two or more of you actually. So, okay. So, so I see another person by the name of Poonam. So hi Poonam, if you are there, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Poonam and I have around 10 years of experience and I'm from Indian time zone as you were looking for.
Poonam was actually ready to speak actually, looks like.
Ah, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, I've experience in testing and I've worked on Ruby, Night Watch and Selenium.
Okay, okay.
So I was really interested in, working on Playwright. So that's why I joined this course.
Okay, okay. So you have worked on Selenium and now you are just transitioned to Playwright. This is what I'm
Uh,
understanding.
right.
Okay, okay. I'm really hoping that this will be a wonderful journey. So most of my other students, they just give a brilliant feedback. We just wrapped up this Playwright weekend batch last week itself,
Mhm.
and the feedback that I got was phenomenal. Actually, it was amazing. It's not just about the learning. So basically, my thought process would be to share my thought process because okay, let me just share a little bit about my background actually. So hi guys, my name is Piyush Gupta. So in case if you don't know me, so I'm from Punjab. Okay, and I speak only one language called Hindi. So I speak only Hindi. Yes, and I'm translating. I'm thinking in Hindi, translating in English. Okay, so sorry if I'll make some mistakes. Okay, I'm not perfect actually, by the way, right? So yeah, so I'm from Punjab location, 20 years of experience. So I started my career way back in 2006, back in QTP days. Okay, so that was my first tool called QTP. Okay, so eventually I was very fascinated towards coding. So yes, I made a lot of mistakes. I was very scared of Java. Can you believe it? I'm a trainer now, and I was very scared of Java, and I was pathetic to be honest. Okay, in my college, I got the only supplementary in IT subject only. Rest of all the subjects I passed. Again, I'm an IT trainer and I got supplementary in IT only. So funny. So, okay, so eventually I moved on to NCR region. I got some good opportunities. Later on, I moved to Mumbai. Okay, in 2011. And so I stayed in Mumbai for almost 10 plus years. Okay, so I got some good opportunities. I learned Selenium. I learned Cypress. I started giving trainings on Cypress, even though I was not perfect. But that is when I realized most people, kind of believe in जब मैं ready होऊंगा तब मैं करूंगा. We'll never get ready, guys. You never get ready. You just start doing it. Eventually, you learn from your mistakes, and that is how you get better. Okay. So, yes, I'll be talking a lot about mindset stuff because I'm a personal development enthusiast. I'm a big believer in reading books. I'm a big believer in taking care of the health. You will never see me tired. You'll always see my energy, maybe 10 times more. Why? I believe in delivering something with 100% passion and commitment. Okay, right? When I look up to my managers, they were speaking as if I don't want to be like them. Because if I look up to my managers and think, oh, if I want to be such a depressed person like my manager, I don't want to be like him. Okay, so some people still ask me, Piyush, how come your energy level is so high? Because I'm really excited about life. And the most important thing is we should have goals in our life. So we'll talk about a lot of these things. Yes, this is a Playwright course, but if the mindset is not correct, nothing will fall in place. Like some of you are still wondering, I actually made some New Year resolutions. What happened to the New Year resolutions? Some of us have actually forgotten why we never wrote it down. Okay, I don't believe in this New Year resolutions. I call them as BS. Okay, so I believe in something called as daily habits. Okay, and that is something we'll talk about this throughout the course, because ultimately I want to rewire your brains, because our brains are rewired in such a way that we think that okay, we'll do something tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, guys. Today is the right time. Today is the right time. Okay, so I was talking about my experience. So I started with Playwright. So Playwright was launched somewhere in the 20s, 2020. So that is when I started learning Playwright. I started just dabbling around with it. Okay, I made some little POCs, but yes, I was not perfect. So I became an automation architect somewhere in 21, 22. And back then I knew nothing about automation architect. So they gave me this designation. I had no idea about being an automation architect. So I'm just telling you very openly that I'm still not perfect. I have made a lot of mistakes. I'm still learning. Okay, so nobody's perfect. I still see some people on LinkedIn flaunting that I'm an expert. I don't know what is an expert really mean. It means have you arrived? I'm still not an expert. I'm still learning every single day. Okay, so we'll talk about Playwright throughout this journey. So we'll start with JavaScript basics, and then eventually we'll move on to Playwright. So we'll start with JavaScript in case if you are wondering whether this course is on JavaScript or TypeScript or how is it. Let me tell you. So we'll start with JavaScript. We'll start from basics. I'll assume you know nothing about JavaScript. So yes, if you have some Java knowledge, yes, it's good. But especially most of the people who are from completely beginners, like who don't have any coding knowledge, I'm assuming you all are fresher according to me. Even somebody with 20 years of experience, right? I'm still treating you like a fresher. Don't mind, but I feel that, you all are learning new. So I'm not here to teach you anything. We are here to study together, guys. Okay, so that is my whole thought process. We are studying together. Okay, so it's like a community that we are building. Okay, and I believe in the power of networking. I'll teach you throughout this course that we'll actually talk about networking. We'll also talk about how to I mean, apply to the jobs in a proper way. We'll talk about some interview tips as well, because I see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes, tons of mistakes. So the biggest mistake what I see people doing is what they just randomly apply to the jobs. The moment they see a job, they immediately hit the easy apply button on LinkedIn or just hit the apply. Don't do this mistake, guys. Don't make this mistake. You want to customize your profile accordingly to the job. Okay, so we'll talk about this throughout this part. Okay, and yes, I know some of you are facing a very difficult situation now. I totally understand. Some of you messaged me privately saying that, Piyush, I just lost my job. So my company laid me off and I'm on my notice period. I know times are tough actually. So to be honest, if I'll talk about me, in my 20 years of IT career, it's been, I think, 4 or 5 times that I got laid off. Yes, I'm being very open and honest. Almost 4 to 5 times I got laid off. Was it easy? The answer is no. When I was talking about my Mumbai job, okay, so 2011 end I joined. 2017, I got a mail from my HR saying that let's have a meet with no subject. I was scared. Honestly, I was scared. And just 1 month back, I got an award for one of the best performing employees. Can you believe that? 1 month back, I got an award, and the next month, they are laying me off. It was a very difficult phase for me. I did not have even 100 rupees to spend. Yes, it was a very tough financial crisis I've seen. Okay. And then I joined Rolta company in Mumbai again. Okay. And that company was battling big time. So that company was actually facing a lot of financial crisis. I had no opportunity. I had to join somewhere. So I just joined Rolta in Mumbai. Okay. And then in 2019 Jan, they stopped paying us salaries only. Why? पैसे नहीं थे उनके पास देने को. They had no money actually to pay us. Okay, so for almost 2 months in January and December, I worked for free actually, and I was hoping that they'll pay me. Eventually, they just laid me off. They just laid off the entire company because they had no money to pay. So why am I telling you all this? So guys, I have seen the same situation as some of you. I know times are tough. Okay, but still, what I really want you to suggest is like, Okay, yes, you should upskill yourself, but always keep your eyes and ears open. Always look for multiple income opportunities. Okay, yes, we'll be talking in depth about Playwright. We'll talk about JavaScript and TypeScript, but I would still suggest, I'm not suggesting you do moonlighting and all, but I would just suggest keep your eyes and ears open. Always say open, say yes for opportunities, even though you might not know how to do it yet. You can eventually figure things out. So guys, the biggest mindset that I want to share with you all is what? Figure things out. I can figure things out. Okay, that's the biggest mindset. Okay, so now I'll share my screen. We'll talk about Playwright. We'll talk about a lot of cool stuff I have actually planned for today. Okay, so I think you have seen me now. So just to preserve my bandwidth, I'm going to switch my video off. I think you have seen me now. So I'll start sharing my screen. So looks like I've already started the recording as well. Okay. Yeah, so the recording is already on. Perfect. So guys, I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if you are able to see. One sec. Hmm. Can you see my screen, guys? Please tell me.
Yes.
Okay, so Google is giving a very funny thing. Oh yeah, so happy Valentine Day, guys. People who are celebrating. So people who are married for 15 years, they don't believe in this, but okay, right. So just wanted to share this a little bit about me so that just people to see like who am I really. So yes, this is me, Piyush Gupta. I'm working as a test architect. Yes, this is really me, right? So currently I have 30,000 plus followers almost. So one thing that I really want to tell you is like, if you really are trying to look for good jobs, guys, stay active on LinkedIn. Very, very important thing. LinkedIn is a gold mine. To be very honest, LinkedIn is a gold mine. And I got some amazing, brilliant opportunities from LinkedIn. So this particular training that I got is from LinkedIn. I got a lot of corporate assignments through LinkedIn. I got a lot of personal students who are willing to get trained one-on-one is through LinkedIn. So the point what I'm trying to make is if you stay visible and stay active on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will give priority to your profile. If you do nothing on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will say, okay, LinkedIn will think probably this person is not very active on LinkedIn. Let me not show this profile to other people. But if you actually log in once, if you do nothing actually, even if you just log in once and maybe just do a little bit of liking and commenting or stuff, LinkedIn will think, okay, this person is active. Probably is looking for some opportunities. Let me push his profile a little up. So the first thing that you want to do is stay active on LinkedIn, even if you do nothing. Okay, right? So this is the first thing. Now we'll talk about something very, very exciting thing, which is this website called NPM Trends. Okay, so now we'll talk a little bit about the comparison between Selenium. Some of you talked about the Selenium, right? So we have something called as Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so I'll compare Selenium WebDriver with something called as Cypress. So these are the downloads for Selenium. So these are the people who are actually downloading Selenium. Now let us compare it with Cypress and see how Cypress is different from Selenium when it comes to the number of downloads. If this is Selenium in blue color, this is Cypress in the orange color. I'll show you something about the Playwright. Very, very exciting part now. Playwright. Now see what's happening here. This is Playwright, guys. I don't need to tell you what is happening with Playwright. Everybody is aware that Playwright is the biggest tool in the market right now. Okay, it is one of the hottest things in the market right now. Okay, so yes, we don't just chase tools, but if something is there which is dominating the market big time, I think it's a good idea to get upskilled into that particular thing. Very, very important thing. So if you look at this graph, if you see this graph is actually heading on the upward trajectory now, and compare it with Selenium and Cypress. I'm not saying Selenium is bad. I'm not saying Cypress is bad. Yes, I've given so many trainings on Cypress only. Okay, but Playwright is clearly dominating the market. If I just randomly move my mouse anywhere, look at the number of downloads for Selenium versus Cypress versus Playwright. Okay, Selenium downloads 16 lakhs as of October 5th, 25. Cypress downloads 63 lakhs. Pretty good number. Look at the Playwright numbers now. How much is it? It's very hard for me to, it's such a big number. One stands 100,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore. Almost 2 crore, right? 9 lakh something. I think you can clearly see something is happening here. Okay, and you see such big jumps. Okay, this is Playwright, guys. Okay, so Playwright is clearly dominating the market. Okay, but we are not just here to learn Playwright. We are here to truly master the language, which is JavaScript and TypeScript, because tools will come, tools will go, but your foundation is going to stay forever. Okay, why I was kind of stuck in my career initially because I was scared about Java. Yes, I was very much afraid. I was scared about Java. Whenever I used to see Java syntax system.out.println or other things, that really increased my heartbeat. I don't know why. Some of you actually message me saying, Piyush, do you really think I will be able to do Playwright course? I'm very much afraid of coding. Do you really think I can really do it? I had to tell them, no, you can really do it. If I can do, you can also do. Okay, right? Sometimes people just are looking for their belief, guys. Okay, and that is one of the biggest responsibilities as a trainer. I just have to share my belief with some of you that yes, you can also get better. I'm still learning Playwright. I'm still learning JavaScript and still trying to master TypeScript. Why? Every single day it is a point. I make it a point that I have to study. Right. So we'll talk about some non-negotiables later on. But if you see here, Playwright is clearly dominating the market. Okay, and that is exactly what we have to do. Okay, so we will talk about Playwright. Okay, so now we'll talk about the Playwright structure that I've just prepared for you guys. Okay, so I'll just share with you guys. One sec. Okay. Ah, okay. My screen was frozen, guys. One sec. What is happening? Okay. So I'm sure you might have seen this course curriculum also, right? But now I'll talk about what exactly I'm planning here. Okay. So I have planned a wonderful course curriculum based upon the feedback that I got from my previous students. Okay. So now I'll share the course curriculum, what exactly I have planned over here. Okay. So now let me share with you. So here I'll copy it and share it with you. One sec. So guys, you should know what exactly we have planned here. So we are, this is one of the, you can say a very, you can say comprehensive course, okay, that we are going to cover. So we are going to cover JavaScript in depth actually. Okay, right. So yes, if you have some good Java knowledge, that's fine. Okay, but we'll cover JavaScript in depth. Okay, right. So we are going to cover JavaScript basics. We'll talk about the values, variables. Very important interview question is difference between let, var, and const. Okay, right. Now we have something var in Java also, but we'll clearly talk about why we should never use var in JavaScript, why we should only use let and const. Okay, we'll talk about the primitive data types, and throughout this course, I'll keep on also like you can say differentiating between Java and JavaScript because some of you are from Java background, so it's a idea. Okay, so guys, I would request you all to please stay muted so that it'll be easy for everyone. So okay, I'm gonna mute some of you because it becomes very difficult for other people. Okay, I know. Okay, some of you are joining in, so you might be unmuted. So I totally understand that. No problem. So what happens is now we will then start with string manipulation. Okay, so we'll talk about the basic string methods, template literals, which is a very cool feature of JavaScript. So we'll talk about some things that are exclusively for JavaScript and are not even there in Java. Okay, we'll talk about the random number generation, which is something we use very frequently in automations. Okay, we'll talk about the comparison operators, double and triple equality, type coercion, type of operator, control flow. This is very easy stuff, and we'll talk about a lot of different examples. Plus, guys, I'll be giving a lot of assignments for the same. Okay, then we'll talk about logical operators. We'll talk about the truthy falsy values. Very important part in JavaScript. Okay, so and then we'll talk about a collection of data with arrays and objects. Like in the case of Java, we don't have standalone objects in Java. We only have class objects in Java. But in JavaScript, yes, we have classes and objects, but we also have standalone objects in JavaScript. And that is what we'll be studying in depth. Okay, so objects and arrays. And one of the biggest pain point with people is, I talk to a lot of people. I actually take a lot of interviews also, right? And I see a clear disconnect. What is the disconnect is most people are just able have a superficial knowledge. Okay, right? But when I ask them, why do I need arrays? Tell me a real use case. Why do I need array? Simple question. I won't even talk about the coding question or something. I'm asking a very simple, give me a real use case of array. Most people are not even able to tell me that. Okay, right? I'm simply asking, give me a real use case of objects. Most people can't tell me that. Okay, so we'll fix the foundation first, guys. We'll fix the foundation so that if the foundation is clear, okay, you can work on any automation tool, including Cypress, Playwright, or even in future, there is some other tool that comes up. If the foundation is good, it will be very smooth transition. That is exactly what my end goal is. Okay, and then we'll talk about arrays as reference types. We'll talk about the pointers concept in JavaScript. Most people don't know what are pointers. Okay, what is memory? What is stack memory? What is heap memory? We'll talk about their differences. Okay, why stack is faster? Why heap is slower? Okay, why are objects stored in the heap and not in stack? Why are primitives stored in stack and all those things? We'll talk about things in depth, even though you have no background knowledge. Then we'll talk about the looping parts. So, especially, you must have heard about, even as a manual tester, right? I'm sure you must have heard about these loops, even in school or college. But these are some special loops that are there in JavaScript, which is your for of loop and for in loop with some practical examples. Okay, right? And then we'll move on to JavaScript intermediate, where it will talk about the functions, function declaration, arrow functions, very, very important concept from interview point of view, return statements, plus we'll be doing a lot of assignments. Okay, right? We'll talk about the function scope, global scope, all those things, callback functions. This is the one of the, you can say, one of the most critical topics of JavaScript. Because in Playwright, throughout the Playwright test cases, we will be using callback functions. This is one of the easiest concepts. Okay, and we'll be taking live examples. Most importantly, we'll take simple examples so that you will be able to understand, even though you have never done any coding, any automation before. Okay, right? We'll be talking about some very important array methods like for each, map, filter, and you can understand them only if you have basics of callback functions. Then we'll talk about the modern JavaScript features. Okay, modern JavaScript features means starting from 2015 onwards. So there was a very major change that happened in JavaScript, and that is called as ES6 or ES 2015, wherein we'll be talking about default parameters. Okay, very cool feature. Spirit operator, destructuring arrays. This is one thing which is we are going to use heavily in Playwright. Destructuring syntax. You should know this, guys. You should know this. And this is the highlight of the course. This is something most people, especially beginners, love it. Why do people get stuck? Why don't they clear the automation coding rounds? Because their logic building is not in place. They don't know exactly how to work on the logic building part. Okay, so throughout this course, so this is not a separate module that I'll be teaching in separate or in isolation. Throughout this course, we'll be taking some JavaScript programs, and I'll be sharing from my thought process, from my 20 years of IT experience, how to think like a, you can say, the how to think right, how to basically solve these type of problems. Basically, we'll be not just talking about single approach, we'll be talking about different approaches. So basically, we'll be sharpening the axe, guys. Very, very important thing. Yes, you should study, but at the same time, you should also start working on your logic building skills. Okay, because if you truly want to move on in India, unfortunately, they don't ask more on manual testing, but okay, you should still have very good knowledge of yes, manual testing is very, very needed, I still feel. Okay, right? But at the same time, you also want to learn logic building programs to enhance your coding skills, how to develop the right thought process when it comes to coding. This is a very, very important part. This is something that will basically separate you out from other people. Just cramming Playwright syntax is not good. Okay, you should know how to solve the type of problems and when to use what. Okay, this is something we'll talk about. Then is advanced JavaScript. We'll talk about object-oriented programming. Again, very important question. Again, I talk to people and I ask them, so what is object-oriented programming? What are classes and objects? Why do I need classes and objects? If I ask this kind of question, most people are not able to give me an answer. They simply tell me, this is class, this is a blueprint. I create object of the class. I tell, don't give me bookish definition. Give me a real scenario. Why do I use class and object? Most people, again, they are not able to tell me. Again, clear disconnect actually. So that is what we'll talk about. So throughout this course, we'll not just learn about how something works. We'll talk about the why behind it. Okay, we'll talk about the why behind it. Why do I need classes? Why do I need constructors? Why do I need inheritance? If you open Google, if you maybe go to YouTube, if you go to Udemy, everybody starts with this is class, this is constructor, how do we use it? Fine. Well, we'll not talk about this. We'll talk about the why behind stuff. For example, we'll talk about why do I need arrays? Why do I need standalone objects? That is something we need. Okay, right? And then we'll start with very important stuff called as TypeScript. So this is a course on JavaScript plus TypeScript together. Okay, so why do a lot of companies are now requiring TypeScript and not JavaScript? So we'll talk about stuff. Okay, what are the challenges in JavaScript and why do I need TypeScript? So I'll give you some sample examples. Okay, why is TypeScript? And TypeScript is super simple, guys. Okay, eventually TypeScript is, in simple words, is more like a wrapper around JavaScript. So truly master TypeScript, you need to have the basics of JavaScript first. So if the basics of JavaScript are clear, Then you can eventually move on to TypeScript, and that is a very, very easy part. So we'll talk about things in depth. Then we'll move on to VS Code ID. We'll talk about how to set up the VS Code for Playwright development. We'll talk about some basic essential plugins. Okay, how do we debug in VS Code? Okay, basically everything from scratch. Then we'll talk about how to set up Playwright. Okay, there are different ways of installing Playwright. So previously, Playwright used to have a special browser called as Chromium, but now, okay, since last 1 to 2 months, they have created a new browser called as Chromium for testing. Chrome for testing, basically. Okay, so we'll actually understand what is the difference between Chromium and Chrome for testing. How to set up Playwright project from scratch. Okay, how to create the framework actually. Okay, how do we install? We'll talk about the differences between Node and NPM. I talk to again a lot of people. So very common question is difference between Node versus NPM. Okay, in simple words, like you have Maven in Java, similarly you have NPM for JavaScript. So NPM is for installing any third-party library like Cypress, Playwright, any third-party library you want to install. Nowadays we talk a lot about VBM also nowadays. Okay, so for installing any third-party library, you have to use NPM. We'll talk about configuring the different browsers, how to create the first Playwright test from scratch. Okay, then we'll talk about the Playwright architecture. So this is where we will actually discuss how it is better than Selenium. I'm not saying Selenium is bad. No, I'm not saying that. Selenium is good. It is there in the industry for almost 20 years now. So it really has something, right? That is why it is able to survive for almost 2 decades, Selenium. Okay, right? But here we'll discuss Selenium has an architecture of REST APIs, which is a stateless connection. That is why it is slower. But in Playwright, we'll talk about the WebSocket architecture, which is super fast. Like you can hear me, I can hear you at the same time. Like in the Zoom, we are using WebSockets. Okay, as an IT professional, we should know these latest stuff, guys. Okay, like I talked to a lot of people again. So I asked them, what are WebSockets? Do you have any idea? Most people say, 90% people say, I've just heard about WebSockets. I don't know. As an IT professional, we should always upskill. Times are very tough, guys. Okay, so we have to upskill ourselves. It is not about your and my liking, it is about survival. Okay, very important stuff. We'll talk about browser context and isolation. This is a brilliant feature of Playwright. So browser contexts are lightweight browsers within Playwright, and they are fully isolated. Okay, so we'll also talk about how we can have multi-user testing in Playwright, which is a very cool feature. Okay, so we'll start from scratch. We'll talk about the basic test structure. We'll talk about the modules in JavaScript. How does JavaScript do import and export? Okay, how do we run the different tests on different browsers in parallel and in specific browsers? And the cool feature, okay, we don't have to write even a single line of code for this. So Playwright has given most of these stuff for basically beginners. So Playwright, while they were creating Playwright, they have thoroughly studied Selenium, they have thoroughly studied Cypress, and then they came up with Playwright. So they have actually removed most of the pain points. Like in Selenium, we have to write the boilerplate code ourselves. Yes, it is a good learning for people because we have to write everything from scratch. So it is a good thing actually. But for beginners, it can be very difficult also at times. Okay, most beginners complain, I'm not very good with Java. It is very difficult for me to write Java code. That is why in Playwright, you don't have to do most these things. Okay, so it is already prepared for you well in advance through Playwriting. And Playwright is from Microsoft. Okay, right? So we'll talk about creating scripts in package.json. Then we'll talk about in depth about Playwright features like Playwright basic methods and assertions. We'll understand DOM in detail. Why do people struggle in creating locators, identifying elements? Because they don't understand the DOM structure, HTML structure. So we'll talk about all these different ways. And the highlight would be, we'll talk in detail about the traversal part. If I'm not able to identify an element uniquely, I can look for a nearby element, its sibling element, its parent element, its child element, and all those things. We'll talk about different locators supported by Playwright because Playwright is very vast tool, guys. So not only supports all the major locators that we support in Selenium, okay, but Playwright also has its own internal locators. One of the best, finest locators is get by role. We'll talk about get by role and all those locators in depth. How do we extract text? How to interact with multiple elements? Okay, and this is a very, very important feature of Playwright. Why Playwright scripts are super stable actually? Because of its auto waiting mechanism. Okay, like in Selenium, do we have any concept of waits? Inbuilt, there is by default, there is no waiting in Selenium. We have to use either implicit wait or an explicit wait. But in Playwright, we have something called as auto waiting by default. I don't even have to turn it on. Okay, it is already there. So that is why. Okay, so I'll give you a simple example. I'm trying to click on a button. Suppose if the button is not visible, even if it is not even present on the screen, Playwright will not fail. It is going to wait for a default time. Okay, right? So this is called as auto waiting feature. We'll talk about this in depth. So we have a proper topic dedicated to this topic, which is auto waiting. We'll talk about fixtures. We'll talk about promises. Oh yes, promises. This is something which is exclusively to JavaScript. Okay, it is also a very important interview question. What are promises? Okay, what is async and await syntax? Okay, so a lot of people, they have no idea about promises. So we'll talk about what are promises. Okay, how do we run the test in headless and headed mode? How to debug Playwright tests, understanding the actionability checks. Again, it is a brilliant feature of Playwright. I'll just quickly show it to you. So here, so if I go to this, say playwright.dev, this is the official website of Playwright. Here, I'll search for something called as actionability checks. Look at this. Even Selenium folks love Playwright, especially after looking at this. See, before I try to perform a click on any element, Playwright does all these things by default. It automatically checks if an element is visible and stable. It should be able to receive events. And finally, it has to be enabled. Then only Playwright performs a click. If any of these checks are not met, Playwright will wait automatically. This is a very, very powerful feature of Playwright. In order to achieve the same in Selenium, you have to write so many lines of code. Yes, it is achievable in Selenium, but it is not default. You have to write code for this. Okay, nothing wrong with Selenium again, but it is not for beginners in that case. So Selenium is more a very powerful tool, but it is more inclined towards developers. While Playwright is designed specially for beginners who are less into coding, basically. Okay, so it is super easy for beginners to learn compared to Selenium. So learning curve in Selenium is actually steeper, okay, compared to Playwright. So most people actually ask me, should I start with Selenium or should I start with Playwright? So I don't just tell them that they should directly start with Playwright. No, that is not the right thing. I actually ask them how much comfortable they are with coding and languages. Some people say I'm very good with Java. Coding comes naturally to me. In that case, I suggest them you should start with Selenium and Java. But some people are like me who are saying, Piyush, I'm really afraid of coding. I've tried coding a couple of times in the past, but somehow I could not make it out. In that case, I don't recommend them Selenium. Why? I'm doing a disservice because that person it'll be like a hopeless task for him. Okay, he needs a hand holding actually. So in that case, Playwright is better for those people. Okay, right? I know inside this particular group, there are so many people here. There are so many people. Okay, some of you are like good with Java, some of you are good with programming, some of you are not. Okay, so there's no one size fit all. Okay, right? So some of you are posting in chat. I totally forgot you guys are posting. So Asha is saying, hi, I don't have much coding knowledge. Will this course be good for me? See, Asha, I didn't see your message previously, but it looks like I just gave your answer. Okay, right? Sanjeev is also saying yes. See, guys, I know even if you have zero coding knowledge, trust me, I will make you good. If you are ready to promise that you will practice regularly, I understand you may not be able to attend all the live classes, which is possible because firstly, this is a weekend only batch. Okay, I know you have a lot of questions. So we'll have classes only on Saturday and only Sunday. Monday to Friday, no classes. So classes are from 7:30 till 9:30. Plus we might take another 10-15 minutes here and there. Okay, right? So it'll be a 2-hour classes on Saturday, 2-hour classes on Sunday. Plus you will get the recordings in case if you are not able to attend live. Like some of you, the okay. So some of you like may not be able to attend the live classes because of a time zone issues. Like some people, especially from Australia region. I know it is night time for you, 12:30 or maybe 1 o'clock. I know you'll have to rely on recordings, but don't worry, guys. I'm available for you guys. If you have anything, okay, I'm there to support and assist you even after this course gets over. Yeah. So some people still ask me questions even after the course gets over. I believe in the power of networking. I just know that, okay, if I'll keep on serving people, I will get more opportunities in return. You want to do the same thing, guys. Always think about helping people. Don't think how much what I can get from this particular person. Okay. Because don't believe in this short-term mentality. Believe in the long-term game. Okay. Believe in abundance, guys. So some people are saying weekend courses are good. So Naveen, I won't say weekend courses are good or weekday courses are good or something. It depends on people's requirement. Like most people, especially IT folks, especially in India, okay, there is no out timing actually. Sometimes we are so busy in releases. Sometimes we actually close the laptop at 10 o'clock at night. How can we attend the weekday classes? So for those people, weekend courses are good. But some people have a more relaxed schedule, even on weekdays. In those cases, you can go for weekday courses. So there's no right or wrong thing. It totally depends which is better for you at that particular situation. Okay. So that's it actually. Right. So we were talking about the course walkthrough. So where is it? Yeah, this is the one. Okay. So yes, we'll learn how to locate elements in depth. This is very, very important part. Okay. Because after covering this particular part, I'll make sure you'll never be able to say, I'm struggling with creating locators, because I'll make you good. Okay. We'll talk about child elements, parent elements. We'll talk about the traversal basically, how to locate difficult to identify elements also. Anybody can identify an element which has an ID. But the challenge is, how do you identify limits if it does not have unique attributes like ID or some unique attributes? There we'll talk about this thing called as traversal. We'll talk about hooks. We'll talk about these get by locators, these 7 Playwright locators. Very, very powerful feature, especially this get by role, one of the most powerful feature of Playwright. We'll talk about this in depth. Record and playback is fine. It is there. I have to cover it, but this is not a very, okay type feature. This is all about recording and playback, only for beginners. Okay. So professionals don't use this feature. So, but yes, I'll talk about record and playback. But the important thing is we'll talk about inbuilt assertions in Playwright. Hard assertions, soft assertions. We have the same in Selenium. Okay. But the assertions in Playwright are more English-like, more beginner friendly, easier for beginners, even for those people who have never done any coding before. Okay, right. So guys, if you have any questions, you can keep posting your queries in the chat box. Okay. So Joe is asking, it's Jyoti, I guess. Yeah. How easy it is to handle dynamic locators that change when DOM loads. Also shadow root. Oh, yes. So Jyoti, so we'll talk about handling dynamic locators. We'll also talk about how to handle these type of elements. Okay. Yes, we'll talk about all these different stuff. Okay. So these are some advanced concepts. As of now, we'll not talk about this in the initial days, but towards the end of Playwright, we'll talk about a lot of advanced concepts. Okay. So that you should be able to identify dynamic locators. That is the biggest challenge. Anyone can automate an element which has an ID, but that is not challenge. No, that is easy. Okay. So good question. So keep on asking questions, guys. Post your queries in the chat. Okay. So then we have something which is Playwright UI mode run addresses. Okay, we'll talk about this in depth. We'll talk about different type of elements. How do we handle drop downs, alerts, checkboxes, web tables, single select, different type of alerts actually. Okay, right? Then we'll talk about checkboxes. Oh yes, very important difference. Another important interview question: difference between click and check. We'll talk about these things. Like click simply toggles the state, but check is more smarter compared to click. We'll talk about this in depth. Mouse events, uploading files. We'll talk about the different mouse over operations, single click, double click, drag and drop features, uploading files in Playwright, single files, multiple files. We'll talk about this in depth. Very interesting feature. Handling the child windows. Like some of you who are from Cypress background, okay, you might have seen this is a big limitation in Cypress. Okay, not with Selenium, with Cypress. So Cypress does not handle multiple windows or multiple tabs, but Playwright supports it very, very easily. So we'll talk about how to handle different windows. What is browser fixture? Well, here we'll introduce the browser fixture, how it is different from the page fixture. Okay, we'll talk about multi-user workflow. This is brilliant actually in Playwright. For example, within the same test, I can launch 2 separate browsers and we can do something called as RBAC testing, role-based access control. Okay, when within one browser, we'll launch as an admin user. Within another browser, we'll launch as a standard user. And now we can do this multi-user workflow. Very powerful thing in Playwright. We'll talk about the multi-tab workflow, multi-user workflow. We'll talk about switching the focus to different windows, how to drive the browsers from the Playwright configuration file. Okay. And then some people say, are we going to cover API testing? Oh, yes, in depth. API testing. So Playwright supports API testing easily. Okay. If you compare it with Selenium, okay, so it does not have any API testing support. Playwright has a native API testing support, which is very easy for learn, even as a beginner. Okay. So we will talk about APIs. What are APIs? What is the JSON structure, guys? How do we fire APIs? How do we inspect API calls? Okay, we'll talk about the firing API calls through Playwright. Okay, very, very cool feature. And this is going to be very easy. And very important thing is we will learn how to run these kind of APIs called as what? Authenticated APIs. We'll talk about connected APIs. Okay, because APIs are of multiple types. One is open APIs, which don't need any authentication. But in real projects, most of the times we have what? Secured APIs, authenticated APIs. How do you get this authentication? You need something called as JWT token. How to get this JWT token? Okay, we'll talk about this. Running the connected APIs, visual testing with Playwright. Okay, screenshots. Okay, very, very powerful feature. So Playwright can compare images pixel by pixel. You cannot do this manually, not possible. But with Playwright, you can easily do it. Okay, we'll talk about some Playwright interview questions. Very, very cool feature. We'll talk about working with complex calendars. So, like Jyoti was asking Shadow DOM, we'll talk about Shadow DOM and iframes. Okay, right? What is a Shadow DOM? Nowadays, a lot of applications, especially banking applications, okay, and enterprise applications, they have something called a Shadow DOM feature, which is different from iframes. So this is something which is also very important interview question. I'll make sure you will be able to understand. Even beginners, don't worry, I'll make you understand. We'll talk about working with pagination table. Uh, Anyone can automate table. This is okay. But what if there's a pagination in the table? Like you might have noticed in some tables, you have these controls like next, next, next. Okay. So how do you navigate through the table actually if it has multiple pages? So this is something we'll understand. Then we'll move on to Playwright framework and its features. How do we implement the page object pattern using TypeScript? We will not use JavaScript, guys. We will use TypeScript so that you'll get comfortable with TypeScript. How do we implement the page object pattern? So page object model pattern is not a framework. Okay, like the other day I was having a discussion with a junior guy. He was saying, Piyush, page object model is framework. I was like, no, no, it is a design pattern. Okay, it has nothing to do with framework. It is more commonsensical thing to do. Whether it is Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. Okay, it is about organizing your code better. So this is all about organizing your code better. Okay, right? We'll talk about the data-driven testing. How do we drive the test with different sets of data? We'll talk about understanding the configuration file in detail. Okay, test retry feature, recording screenshots, videos, workers. Like in Java, you have threads. In JavaScript, Playwright, you have workers. How do we run and skip particular test cases? Command line execution. We'll talk in detail about the HTML reporting, logs, custom scripts. Very important thing. Some people ask me, are we going to cover CI/CD integration? Oh, yes. Without CI/CD, no automation course is complete. We have to talk about what is CI, what is CD. Okay. Like a lot of people are scared with these difficult looking terms like continuous integration, continuous delivery. It is not very difficult, guys. Okay. So I'll try to explain you, not try, I'll make sure I'll explain it to you in very, very easy terms. Okay. So firstly, guys, remove this try, throw away this word from your dictionary. Try so weak people. Never use this word. Okay. Right. Very important thing. And then we'll talk about how to integrate the framework with Jenkins. Okay, how do you create your first pipeline in Jenkins? Best practices for framework development. We'll talk about this. Okay, and then we'll talk about AI powered Playwright. Okay, everybody's talking about AI. So guys, you should know about AI. Most people think ChatGPT is AI. No, ChatGPT is just 0.5% of AI actually. There's so much more. Some of you may not have heard about Copilot, may not have heard about Claude. Okay, so those tools are growing big time. ChatGPT is now finding it difficult to catch up with these tools actually. Okay, so we'll talk about how to install Copilot in the VS Code. Most companies are now using VS Code powered by Copilot. We'll install Copilot. We'll talk about the Playwright integration with AI. How Playwright is integrated with AI using copy prompt. Very cool feature. If a Playwright test case fails, it gives you a copy prompt. It gives you a full prompt that you can paste in any LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, anything. Okay, we'll talk about the MCP, how we can generate our test cases, Playwright test cases using MCP, Model Context Protocol. Okay, then we'll talk about the generation of test cases using MCP. Okay, we'll talk about all these things. So finally, this is important, guys. These are the learning outcomes. This is my expectation from you guys. Okay, by the end of this course, so this course will take approximately 40 hours. Okay, it can be slightly more, may not be less, I believe. Okay, because I will never compromise on the quality part. Okay, I'll cover things in depth, even if it takes me 45 hours, I don't care. Okay, important thing is whatever things I have planned, I will deliver it, as simple as that. Okay, even if it takes 45 hours, but roughly it will take at least 40 hours. Okay, so these are the learning outcomes. You should be able to understand the Playwright fundamentals in depth. And if somebody asks you, you should be able to explain the architecture and capabilities of Playwright. And you should be able to work on Playwright projects as an individual contributor. I don't care if you're a lead or somebody. Okay, so you should be able to work on Playwright as a team or as an individual contributor. Yes. You should be able to implement UI functional testing, cross-browser testing, structure and maintain the test suites, and very importantly, able to handle advanced scenarios, generate reports, debug tests, integrate tests with CI/CD pipelines, even as a beginner. Yes. And finally, very, very important thing. This is what every company expects from you. You should be able to analyze and fix the failures, because no automation suite is 100%, you can say, flake free. Okay. Some people say Playwright is flake free. No, no automation tool in the planet is flake free. Okay. You will see some kind of failures in any automation tool. Okay. Yes, you should try to minimize them, but you cannot say that it is 100% flake free. Okay. I cannot say that. Okay. So this is what I'm planning for. So this is the entire course outline that I've just shared with you. Okay. So this is a document that I have prepared and I'll be sharing with most of you guys. Okay. So this is the prerequisite, guys. So how do we set up Node.js? How do we set up NPM? How do we set up VS Code? And how do we install Playwright? Okay. So let's start actually. So what is Node.js? Node.js is basically an open source platform. In simple words, this is the execution engine for JavaScript. Now, Java people, if you want to run Java, you need to have Java installed on your machine, correct? No? You need Java. Similarly, to run JavaScript on your machine, you need something. What is that something? That something is Node.js. Without having Node.js, you cannot run JavaScript on your machine. But there's an exception here. If you go to Google, click on inspect, go to the console, clear it out, and now if you type something, 1 plus 2, what is this? Is this Java? Is this JavaScript? Is it Python? Post your message in the chat, guys. Whatever you guys think. Even if you know nothing, that's okay. We are not here to judge. We are here to just learn from each other. Okay. Tell me, guys, is this Python? Is it Java or JavaScript? So Jagdish is saying Python. Poonam is saying JavaScript. Okay. Interact, guys. Let us interact more. Rupa is saying JavaScript. Reba is saying JavaScript. Okay. I'm surprised to hear some people are saying Python, which is good. Okay. Nobody's saying Java, which is good. So guys, let me tell you one thing. This is JavaScript. This is not Java. This is not Python. So Vikas is saying, interesting, web development is mostly in JavaScript, so it is JavaScript. Yes, this is JavaScript code. So within the browser, I don't even need Node.js. This is important for you to understand. Okay, then why do you need Node.js? Because in real professional, okay, in settings, you don't need browser. You have to write your JavaScript code outside the browser. So Vikas, I'll request you, please stay muted. Thank you. Okay, so because in real time, in office projects, you have to use VS Code or any good editor. Okay, there you don't need, okay, you will not be writing your code in the browser. You have to write the code outside the browser. Okay, right? That is why you need Node.js. So I've prepared a document. Okay, so whether you are having a Windows machine or a Mac machine, we have written with screenshots. See, there's a document that I've prepared for you. So some of you don't have any idea, just follow this document. Okay, and you can easily install Node.js on both your Windows and Mac machines. Okay, so this is a very, very useful document. So everything is written here. Okay, so I'll share this particular document with all of you. Don't worry, I'll share with everyone. So after installing Node.js, the next thing that I need is Visual Studio Code. What is Visual Studio Code? This is by far the best editor, especially for JavaScript. Okay, like one of the best editors for Java, especially Selenium and Java, is, some people say Eclipse, some people say IntelliJ. Okay, so it totally depends on your preference. But when it comes to JavaScript, okay, so VS Code is by far the best editor for JavaScript. 95% people in the world, especially JavaScript developers, they use Visual Studio Code. Okay, right? So different editors have their different powerful capabilities. Now, in case if you ask, can you run JavaScript in Eclipse or IntelliJ? Anyone? Java people, can you please tell me, can I run JavaScript on Eclipse or IntelliJ? What you guys think? Tell me. Hmm. At least guess. No problem in guessing, guys. Sindhu is saying yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. We can. But it is not a very good integration because they don't support JavaScript out of the box. So it may not be a very good integration. Similarly, the next question is, can you run Java within VS Code? The answer is yes, you can. But again, it is not an out of the box integration. So better is for Java, better option is you should rather use IntelliJ or Eclipse only. For JavaScript, you should use IntelliJ. Oh, sorry, this VS Code. That is what I mean. Okay, so I've basically documented all those steps of installing VS Code. Everything is written over here. Okay, so you need Node.js. Git is kind of optional here. Then you need an IDE. Okay, then you need Playwright extension for VS Code. Now we'll talk about, very soon we are going to talk about, okay, how to install Playwright. But before that, I really wanted to show you something. Okay, what is the main difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? Okay, for this, what I'll do now is I'll share my screen with you guys. Okay, so and then okay, we'll create a Playwright project from scratch, guys. Playwright project from scratch. Okay, so what should I do here? Let me do one thing. I'll share my entire screen now with you guys. One sec. I think you should be able to see my entire screen now. Okay, so this is my VS Code editor, guys. This is how it looks. Imagine this VS Code is already installed. Okay, how do you set up the you can say folder structure from scratch? And that is what we are going to talk about. Okay, so Sanjeev is asking, except JavaScript and TypeScript, which other languages Playwright supports? So Playwright support. Okay, I'll tell you. I would, rather than answering you, I'll show you. So here, go to the Playwright official website, playwright.dev. Look at this. So to answer your question, Sanjeev, this is your answer. It supports Java. It supports Python. It supports .NET. Node.js means JavaScript and TypeScript both. I hope that answers your question. All right, Sanjeev. But now, in case, now, very important, another question is, now some people will say, should I go with Java with Playwright? Should I go with Python with Playwright? Or should I go with .NET? Or should I go with JavaScript or TypeScript? Okay, so the answer is, there is no right or wrong tool here. Okay, so the thing is, actually, Node.js is the default language for Playwright. In fact, Playwright is actually built in Node.js only. Okay, and all the latest features that Playwright comes up with is on JavaScript and TypeScript first, and they actually take 1 to 2 months at least for Java and other languages to catch up. Okay, so most companies actually require Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, right? But yes, you might still see some openings on Playwright with Java and very few openings on Playwright with Python, but a lot of openings on Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript both. Okay, so now this is my VS Code. What I'll do is I'll create a new folder here. So this is my Finder. I'm on a Mac machine, but the same steps is applicable even on Windows machines also. So if you're on a Windows machine, find out any place wherein you have the privileges for creating a folder. So here I'll create a folder. So let's say I'll create Playwright. This is Feb, right? So I'll say Playwright Feb weekend batch. So it is easier for me to remember because I have so many other batches also, so that it is easier for me. Okay, so Playwright Feb weekend batch. So I've created an empty folder here. Now this is my VS Code. How do I open any folder in VS Code? It is super simple, guys. Super simple. Just drag and drop. It is very easy. Just drag and drop. Okay, so how do I drag and drop? Look at this. So here I'll select it. Okay, so I don't have a mouse. It becomes very difficult at times. So my mouse is not working fine. So here it is not dragging and dropping. Ah, weird. Not drag and dropping. Without mouse, very hard. No problem. So what you do is, okay, we just go to file and then open folder. Okay, so now what should I do is go to my this particular folder called weekday. So okay, I'll go to the documents. I'll go to my weekday folder here. Okay, one sec. Where is it? So inside documents, Playwright training is the one. So Playwright training. So I'll say weekday. Where is it? I'm not able to find out. One sec. Here, okay, let me go to the document. I'll try to just drag and drop. Very weird, actually. Why it is not dragging and dropping? It should drag and drop. Every time it works. Yeah, see, now it has started working. Not sure what was the issue previously. So this is how we drag and drop. Very easy, guys. Just create a folder, drag and drop. On a Mac machine, they don't give a mouse. It becomes a little challenging. So, okay. So this is how we open any folder within VS Code. Very easy. Okay. And by default, the font size is little less. Little, you can say lower. What should I do? On a Mac machine, I'll press Command and plus to increase or decrease the font size. On a Windows machine, press Control plus and Control and minus. Okay. So this is how you open any folder. Okay. Now, what you want to do is, I'll show you a small difference between JavaScript and TypeScript and why most companies are looking for TypeScript, so that you'll be able to understand. TypeScript is super easy, guys. Okay, so now let me create a simple file, say demo.js. Okay, now I'll create a fresh variable in demo.js. How do I create a variable in JavaScript? Super easy. Simply use a keyword called let keyword. Let, and then you write full name. And I'll give my name, say Piyush Gupta. Okay, so this is how I can create a variable in JavaScript. But the biggest problem with JavaScript is what? The biggest problem is there is a concept called as dynamic typing. What is dynamic typing? We'll talk about this. In the case of dynamic typing, I can give any type of value. See, this is allowed in JavaScript. So Java people, if you create a variable, you have to give a data type, right? Int number. It has to be an integer now. But in JavaScript, I'm using either let or const. I'm allowed to change the type. Firstly, it is string. Now it is a number. I can even give it a Boolean value. That is the biggest challenge, biggest issue with JavaScript because of this dynamic typing. Okay, so we face a lot of issues. So JavaScript has these type of issues, guys. Okay, another issue I'll show you in JavaScript. So if I go to Google, clear it out, let's say I'll create a variable. Look at this. This is a simple object in JavaScript. It has key value pairs. Don't worry, we'll talk about key value pairs, objects in detail. For now, I'm just telling you what is the challenge here. See, if I use shape dot, see the spelling of height is height, no? And it is working. So shape dot height is going to give me 15. But as a human, right, I can make a typo. Rather than typing H and T, what if I type T and H? So there's a clear spelling mistake. See, JavaScript is giving me undefined. It is not throwing an error. It means I'll have to run the program and then I'll get the error. Okay, right? And I'll have to waste some time in debugging this false failure, this silly error. But if it is TypeScript, it will give me this error right now. Now I'll show you the same in TypeScript. Okay, so how do I create a TypeScript file? Very easy. And how do you know if it is a JavaScript file? .js. Every JavaScript file will end with .js extension. Look at this at the bottom. It is JavaScript file. Okay, how do I create a TypeScript file? Very easy. Click on the plus button. Now I'll create a file called any file, say TypeScript.ts. So make sure that every TypeScript file has an extension called .ts. Hit enter. Now I'll do the same thing in TypeScript. Now I'll show you. Suppose if I create a variable called num, okay, and I'm giving it a value of 10. Now, can I change this value to some other type? Let's see. Can I change num to true? See, that is the biggest advantage of TypeScript. TypeScript is immediately throwing an error saying that type Boolean is not assignable to type number. Means I'm trying to store a Boolean value in this variable, which is only allowed to store numbers. See, JavaScript is not throwing any error, but TypeScript, it is clearly throwing an error here. That is the biggest reason why most companies are looking for TypeScript so that we can catch the errors quickly. So TypeScript is super simple, guys. Okay, so the foundation is still JavaScript because every valid JavaScript code is valid TypeScript code only. So TypeScript is what? What is TypeScript? TypeScript is JavaScript only plus additional features. So we are not learning a new language called TypeScript. No, we will learn JavaScript in detail. And then we'll talk about some basic small things about TypeScript. So JavaScript plus additional, or we can say stricter features is TypeScript only. And here, this is a TypeScript only syntax. Look at this. This is not there in JavaScript. Okay, so I'm saying, right? I'm saying this variable num has to be of type number. I know Java people might find it weird. Like in Java, how do we create a variable? We create a variable like this. Int num equal to 10. So the data type is on the left. But in TypeScript, the data type is on the right. Okay, right? So this is a little difference between Java and TypeScript. Okay, so now TypeScript is clearly throwing an error. That is the reason why we want to use TypeScript. So even if you are not understanding much, no problem, guys. We'll cover all these things in very much detail and from scratch. Okay, now what we'll do is I'll quickly show you how to create a first Playwright project from scratch and how to automate your very first test, even if you have zero coding knowledge. Okay, and let us start doing it. So how do we do it? So let me close these files. So how do I open the terminal in VS Code? So there are a couple of ways. Go to the terminal, click on new terminal. This is one way. Second way is click on this button, click on the terminal, And now you are able to see the terminal. But for lazy people like me, yes, I'm a little lazy here. What do? I'll simply press this key called Control and backtick key. Now, quick quiz for you guys. Quick quiz. Where is backtick key on your keyboard? Tell me in the chat. So Vikas is saying even Python behaves the same. Very good. Okay, thank you so much, Vikas, for sharing. So guys, tell me where is backtick key on your keyboard? Some people may not know it. Backtick key. Backtick. Where is backtick key on your keyboard? Post in the chat. Let's see who knows it. Backtick. Nobody? Oh my God. At least one of you should know, no? So Ramkoti is saying above tab. Vikas is saying on escape button. Vikas, not escape. Nishit, okay. Most of you are actually correct. So looks like Vikas is also wanted to say same only, but probably might have mistake. So just below the escape key. Okay, very good, Arpita. Vikas and Poonam. So not above tab, just okay, yeah, above the tab, correct. Okay, so we have a this type of thing, right? I'll tell you. This is your backtick key, and this is used very frequently in JavaScript. So before JavaScript, I never used this type of code, but in JavaScript, we have to use this code very frequently. Now let me close it. I'll press Control and backtick. It is going to open the terminal for me. So this is a very cool shortcut, guys. We should know this stuff. We should know this stuff. Suppose if you are leading, right, you should be able to tell your team and guide your team. Okay, this is very simple feature. So this is how I can open my terminal. Now let us install Playwright from scratch. Okay, so now we'll install Playwright. How do I install Playwright? Use this command npm init playwright @latest. Okay, so let me increase the font size in case if it is little less. Now it is asking me, do you want to use TypeScript or JavaScript? Okay, so here let me create a TypeScript project only. Simply I'll hit enter. But if you want to choose JavaScript, just use the down arrow key or up arrow key. Okay, so default is TypeScript, hit enter. Now it is asking where to put your end-to-end test. Means all the Playwright test cases would be stored inside a folder. So that is what it is asking. What is the name of the folder? So you don't want to provide a name because default name is test only, which is a good name. So don't make any change. Just hit enter. Add a GitHub Actions workflow. This is related to CI/CD. Forget about this for now. Just hit enter and take the default option. Hit enter. This is important. So Playwright installs its own browser. So in case if you are doing this for the very first time, this activity might take 5 to 10 minutes depending upon your internet connection. Okay, so Playwright is going to download its own browsers, its own Chrome, its own Firefox, its own WebKit. Okay, WebKit is the engine for Safari. Okay, right? So all I have to do is I have to use true. In my case, I keep on giving these trainings. I already have these browsers. So I have a luxury of setting it to false. In your case, if you're doing it for the first time, make sure it is true. Just hit enter default and it will start downloading the browsers. In my case, I already have the browsers, so it is not downloading. So so if you see within less than 2 minutes, I'm able to install Playwright and this entire folder structure is ready for me, guys. Okay, this demo.js and TypeScript.ts is the one that I just created. So you can ignore them. For now, let me just delete it. Not needed actually. So right click, delete, not needed. So move to trash. This TypeScript.ts, delete it. I don't need it. Okay, so this is the folder structure of Playwright. So how do I clear the terminal? I don't like to see all this mess. How do I clear the terminal? Again, shortcut, Control and L key. Whether you're on Windows or a Mac, same shortcut, Control L. This will clear your terminal. Okay, right? Now, how do I basically create my first Playwright test from scratch? Okay, so even as a beginner, I'm sure you will love it. Okay, so what do? Okay, I'll tell you how to do it. Go to the test folder, go to example.spec.ts. So these are some sample test cases given by Playwright. Forget about them, ignore them. We will study from scratch. What is the meaning of test? What is this? What is async? Everything we'll study from scratch. For now, ignore them. What I'll do is I'll copy one test. Okay, I'll copy one test. Okay, and I've minimized them for now. And I'll remove everything. So now we'll see how to create the very first Playwright test. So let me give a name. This is the test case name. So I'll write my first test case. So I'll expect all the beginners to please do this. I know you may not be able to do it right now along with me, but once you'll get this recording, okay, right? So just try to do this. You will get a lot of confidence. Like some of you are asking, Piyush, can you really think I can learn Playwright? So I'm actually giving your answer now. You can. Yes, you can. Okay. So how do you do it? So let us automate a very simple website, which is called as Orange HRM something. Some of you might have heard, some of you might not have heard. So this is a very simple application. It's a dummy application mostly. Okay. So this is the application, how it looks like. So it has a username, it has a password. Now I'll show you how to automate this website. Means how to just enter the username, how to enter the password, click on the login button, and make sure that you're logged in. That is a simple test case that we want to automate using Playwright. Okay. So what should I do now? Just copy this URL, copy it. Go to the Playwright here. Now just replace this URL. And I think you can easily understand page.goto. Any beginner can understand what is the meaning of this line. Okay. So Playwright commands are super English-like, very much English-like. Let me decrease the font size. I think it is better. Okay. So I'm saying, I'm instructing Playwright, please open this particular page. Now what should I do? I'll write this line, await page.pause. I'm telling Playwright to please pause here, to please pause here. Now what will I do? I'll open the terminal, control and backtick again. Okay, now I'll run this command npx playwright test. I'll do one thing. I'll write test.only. Again, you can understand. I'm telling Playwright run only this test and ignore everything else. Test.only simply means run this particular test and ignore everything. We have how many more tests? We have 2 more. But if I don't use only, it will start running everything. I don't want to run everything. I want to run only this test. So that is why I'm writing only. Again, you can understand this is quite easy. So npx playwright test, simply write double dash headed here. By default, Playwright run test in an invisible browser. So the browser is not shown just for performance. Okay, so just for speeding up the performance. But I want to see the browser. So I'm writing double dash headed. Double dash headed means I'm instructing Playwright, please show me the browser. Because without this, okay, it will not show the browser. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to see the browser. I'll hit enter. Now let's see. Oh, by default, Playwright will start running in all the 3 browsers, which is okay. So what should I do now? Let me go back to the VS Code, hit Control C and stop all the tests and Control L to clear the terminal. I'll go to the configuration file. Don't worry, I'll tell you. So now if you see here, within the configuration, see, this is Chromium, this is Firefox, and this is WebKit. So by default, Playwright is going to run your test cases on all the 3 browsers together and in parallel. Very cool feature of Playwright. But do you want to perform cross-browser testing every time? The answer is no. One time it is fine, but not every time. So for now, I'll comment out Firefox and WebKit. I want to run my test in the Chromium browser. Why? This is one of the most stable browsers. As a beginner, you should learn your test in the Chromium. Why? It is super easy, super simple. So now what should I do? I'll now run it again. Control backtick, up arrow key, hit enter. See guys, now what is this? This is a Playwright inspector. Why it is displayed? And I'll tell you what is inspector, all these things in detail. For now, I'm just telling you how to automate the first test. So just understand, the moment you write page.pause and run your test in the headed mode, you will see this window called inspector. Now Playwright is paused here. Now, as a beginner, you know nothing about locators. You don't know how to identify this username, how to identify password, how to click on the login button. See, as a user, I have eyes. I can see it is text box. This is another text box. This is a button. But Playwright is not human. It does not have eyes. Okay. How can I tell Playwright how to find it, this element? Simply use this particular option called pick locator. Just click on this pick locator button. Now move your mouse. Now see, Playwright is telling you this is a very good locator as per Playwright. Just click here and the locator is copied here. What do I mean by locator? Locator means how to identify this text box username. So according to Playwright, this is how we can identify this text box. Just copy this. Don't worry, what is the meaning of this? We'll talk about this in depth later on. For now, just write await page dot. You want to write this part and now just press Control V or Command V. Okay, now this is the text box. Okay, right? This is the text box. What do I want to do with this text box? I want to type something into the text box. So I'll use the method called fill. In Selenium, you have send keys. In Playwright, we have fill. Okay, so what do I want to fill? Just open this website, copy the username. Admin is the username. Okay, right? I think you can understand. This is something we can easily do, no? Even we have no knowledge about Playwright and those things, correct? Now, again, click on the pick locator. Again, move the mouse on password. Click on it. Okay. So this is how Playwright will identify the password field. Copy this. Go back to the VS Code. Again, write this line. Await. Okay, we'll talk. So this await is related to asynchronous code. So this is somewhat advanced thing. We'll talk about this towards the end of JavaScript and just before starting TypeScript. So write page dot. Okay, so this is how Playwright will identify the password field. On the password field, what I want to do? I want to enter the password. So fill of what? Admin 123. This is the password. The next thing is I want to hit the login button. So again, I'll write page dot. Okay, I'll go back to the application. Again, click on this button. Move the mouse on login button. So Playwright is saying this is how you should identify. As a beginner, you can use this tool, but as an advanced user, you don't want to use it because I'll tell you how to find out all these elements yourself. Okay. So for now, I'm telling you how to use this. This is more like a shortcut, but eventually in this course, we'll learn how to identify difficult elements also. These are very simple. Okay. So we're starting simple. Eventually we will move on to difficult things. Dot click. So this is how I enter something into the username and then the password and then the click. What happens then? Now let me run this test one more time. So Control C will forcefully stop the test. Up arrow key, hit enter. Let's see. See, Playwright has entered something, something, something. I'm able to log in, guys. Right? So now my only thing required is I just want to check if I'm able to visit this particular URL. So I'll do this copy. Now I'll simply go with this. Await page dot wait for URL. That's it. So this is my first test case. And this is my kind of verification actually. I'm validating that I'm able to log in successfully. Means if I'm able to navigate to dashboard page, it means I'm able to log in. So my first test case is done. So now I'll remove this page.pause. I'll comment it out. Now I'll run this. Up arrow key, hit enter. Let's see how it is working. And Playwright is super fast. You might not be able to see what just happened. Okay. I'll tell you, okay, how to slow down Playwright. Most people don't know this part. Okay. We can significantly slow down Playwright. How do we do this? Okay. So we'll talk about this particular feature, how to slow down Playwright. So for now, this is how we can create our very first test. So guys, everyone, especially beginners, please do do this particular part after taking the recording actually. This will give you a lot of confidence that yes, you can also automate using Playwright. Okay, so we have just seen how to install Playwright, all these things. Okay, now one very cool feature that I'll show you also. I have a wonderful AI tool actually as a software tester. Always start thinking, how do I maximize my productivity? I'm about to show you something now. Okay, now I'll write something for you guys here. I'll start talking in English and it'll start typing automatically. Okay, I'm pressing the function key. Now you see the magic, what I'm saying. Hi, my name is Piyush Gupta. I'm a senior test automation architect with 20 years of experience. I'm a Playwright trainer. See this magic, no? How about something if I use this in my day-to-day tasks? Do I really want to type endlessly? No, I don't want to type. Okay, so this is a very cool thing. So this is an AI tool that I'm using. It's an AI tool. Okay. Okay, so this is something I'm using. I'm not going to share its name today. I'll share this name probably tomorrow or day after. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that now with this tool, you can actually, okay, significantly improve your productivity, guys. Means if you want to, I want to type a lot of things. I want to draft a lot of emails. Okay, so this can definitely help me improve my productivity. Without this, I would have to take how much time? At least 30 seconds to type all this. At least 30 seconds. How much time I took? Less than 5 seconds. Okay, so it has actually improved my productivity a lot. Okay, so and then throughout this course, we'll also talk about some interview tips also. For example, if you get a JD, just you simply share a CV with those people. No, don't make this mistake. The moment you get a JD, This is a slightly lengthy task, okay, but I'll recommend you what you have to do. Okay, what you want to do is, okay, look at the JD. Whenever you see any job description, look at the keywords what those people are using. Take some of those keywords, put it in your resume, okay, and customize your resume as per their requirement, guys. And study about the company if you are applying. If you are giving an interview, don't just blindly sit in the interview. Okay, they might ask you, why do you want to join the company? Don't just say I got laid off and your is the only company who's hiring. That is I'm joining. Please don't say the honest answer. Nobody is looking for an honest answer, because honest answer is this only. They are looking for somebody. You are looking for a job. That is why you are applying. Okay, but don't tell them this. Okay, right? You want to basically do a little research about the company, what that company is doing, and how you can add some value to the table. That is what people are looking for. Everybody knows you are looking for a job, right? That is fine. But you want to tell them how you can add some value to them. Okay, that is what they are looking for. Okay, right? And then this is not just a simple Playwright course, guys. This is more of a mentorship program. We are going to be learning stuff together. We will learn things together. Okay, so this was a small demo that I wanted to share. Okay, so today and tomorrow are just demo classes, just to give you a feel as to how my teaching style is, whether you are comfortable with how am I teaching actually. Ultimately, you should be comfortable with my teaching style. Otherwise, no point in enrolling. So some of you who really like this particular teaching style, and if you have decided that, yes, I really want to go ahead, okay, in that case, I'm just posting my WhatsApp number. So you can drop me a WhatsApp and I'll ask the team to reach out to you. So my WhatsApp number is 7738 532684. I'm just posting in the chat. You can say my number. Some of you already have it. I'm already there on the groups. I'm the trainer there. Okay, so if you have decided to enroll, just drop me a WhatsApp. I'll ask the team to reach out to you for the enrollment part. Okay, and I'll be sharing these recordings. So these recordings would be available. Actually, so it is a Saturday and Sunday. So Isha team won't be available actually, because it's a weekend actually for them. Okay, so if you still want these recordings early, you can just let me know. I can share the raw recordings with you. So once you are enrolled, so they will ask for you for your email ID. So they'll give you special permission to access these videos. So only from your registered email ID, you can access these videos, guys. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot access these videos. Okay. Right. So these recordings are for lifetime. Okay. Even after the course gets over, these videos will never expire. You will always be there. Okay. And I'll be giving you a dedicated drive space wherein you can take all the notes. I'll be giving you detailed notes. I'll be giving you a lot of assignments. Okay. I'll be adding all these JavaScript files, whatever stuff we are learning here. I'll be adding all these files in your dedicated drive. Okay. So that whatever code we are learning, it is available for you for your reference. Okay. So that's it about the today's recording. This particular demo session, guys. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, like I'm getting messages from people. Some people are saying, Piyush, tell me how should I pay. So guys, hold on, let me stop the recording first. Let me stop the meeting, I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm glad to hear this part. So that's it for today, guys. So I'm stopping the screen share. Now the ball is in your court. Now you have an opportunity to ask me questions. You can ask me any questions. Okay, other than asking how many push-ups I did. Okay, now I'll talk about one last thing, actually, very, very important thing. Okay, so guys, this is something I teach all my students. Have some daily non-negotiables. Have some daily non-negotiables. What are the non-negotiables? I'll give you some examples of mine. One of my daily non-negotiables is I'm an IT professional. Sometimes I have to work 10 hours a day also. I know it's very, very hard job, but still I make sure that I do my good number of steps every single day. Why? Because you you want to take care of your health actually. Okay, right? You want to take care of your health actually. Okay, so this is one of the daily non-negotiables. Another non-negotiable is I have to do 20 to 60 push-ups every single day. I have to do 2 minutes of plank. I have to do 30 minutes of studying. Yes, even though my job is busy, I'll make out time for this. Why? Because health is very important for me. My company can throw me out any single day. Then I'll wonder, why did I give 12 to 14 hours to that silly company who didn't care about me? So care about your health first, care about your family first, and take care about your finances also, guys. Please don't do silly decisions. Don't buy stuff that you don't need. Okay, invest your money wisely. You should have at least 6 months of emergency fund nowadays. Please don't invest. Okay, don't waste money wisely. Okay, be very, very careful with your money. Very, very important thing. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk is, okay, confidence is the key. Why do a lot of people don't clear the interviews? I'm taking interviews and I see a lot of people sitting in fright. Okay, they are sometimes not able to talk also. They are not able to look into my eye directly. Why? They are trembling with fear. And that is something I want to tell people. Be bold, be loud, be confident. Confidence is the key. If there are two candidates, one is not able to speak properly, I'm not talking about English. Even if the person is speaking in broken English, but if the confidence is super high, I want to go with that person actually. Because if the confidence is good, he has a good, solid mindset. But a weak-minded person, I'm not looking to work. As simple as that. Okay. So you want to be bold, loud, confident. Okay. So that's it, guys. So now the opportunity is for you to ask me questions if you may have. Sanjeev is saying, thank you, Piyush. I really enjoyed your teaching style. Thank you so much, Sanjeev. This is who I am. I don't like to teach in a boring style that you all should feel, oh my God, when is he going to stop? Okay, right. So ultimately, we'll be having a lot of fun. Anyways, if we are going to learn, why not have some fun as well? Okay. So now Joe is asking, so how many push-ups you do? This is a out of question. So I try to do 25 push-ups every single time. So 25 into 3, 75 push-ups. I don't look like 40 plus guys. I'm 42, but I can outrun you guys in push-ups, in planks, everything. So a lot of people say I look like in my early 30s. Oh yes. Why? Because if you take care of your health, okay, you will not age faster. I see a lot of people, my school buddies. Okay, they look like uncles actually. Why? They are totally neglected their health. I don't want to be like them. Yes, they are good friends of mine. I don't want to be like them. Okay. So Dhaval Shah is asking, JavaScript versus TypeScript. Why company want TypeScript? Okay. So Dhaval, as I was explaining, JavaScript has a lot of issues, especially with dynamic typing and those things. Okay. So, and TypeScript is giving me errors quicker, faster. Okay. I'm not wasting time in unnecessary debugging the false failures. That is why most companies are looking for TypeScript. Okay. And guys, very important thing is, okay, some of you may not be very comfortable in English. Okay. In that case, you can ask me questions in Hindi also, or whatever language. I only speak English and Hindi. Sorry, I don't understand any other language. But if somebody wants to speak to me in local language, I can speak. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. So any questions you may have? AI testing and automation testing is different. Oh, yes, Shekhar. AI testing is different. AI testing means testing an LLM model. For example, testing ChatGPT itself. Like nowadays, in every application, you will see an AI bot or something. Suppose if you open makemytrip.com, okay, on the right side bottom, okay, so you will see something called as what? You will see something like a bot that is opening. Okay, now that bot is going to ask you questions. So every website nowadays has these type of bots. What are these? These are AI only. So nowadays, this particular field is very much trending, AI testing. Your goal should be to actually master AI testing. Master AI testing. Because times have changed, guys. You should learn how to test LLMs also. So automation testing is different. So in this course, we are going to be learning Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript, not Python. So Rupa is asking, in our organization, we are having cursor license version. Can we integrate cursor with Playwright? Oh yes, cursor with Playwright you can do. Absolutely. Cursor is advanced version of VS Code only. Okay, right? Oh my God, you are asking so many questions. You guys can also unmute also. Hold on, and let me just look at your questions. So Sidhu is asking duration of this course. So Sidhu, so the duration of this course is, it is approximately 40 plus hours. Okay, so, and we will have these classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, so 2+ hours each. Okay, so by this time, I think we can take anywhere 2 months and plus, somewhere around 2 months and plus. Oh yes, Dhaval, we will be covering reporting stuff. Okay, we will be covering reporting in detail. We'll talk about. So when is the actual class starting? See, guys, actual class is this only. So I just wanted to show you. So what are the course outline and those things? Okay, but we just started with the actual class. So from tomorrow, we'll start with the basics of JavaScript. For some of you, it is demo. You still may want to check me out more, which is okay. But the actual classes are starting from tomorrow. We'll start from the basics of JavaScript. Okay, Sindhu saying, thank you, Piyush. Looking forward to learn more. Oh, yes, Sindhu, I'm looking forward to see. Okay, I'm really looking forward to guide and mentor you. Okay, so Nitya is saying, do we have any live project demo? Yes, we will be talking about so many different websites, not just simple websites. We'll be taking some trickier websites. I'll be sharing with you one website, which is like a project that you can use. Okay, so in Playwright interview, it is expected that Selenium questions could be asked. Sanjeev, that's a very good question. Like I take Playwright interviews now. I also ask Selenium questions just to see whether the person is aware about Selenium. It is not about whether the person is working or not in Selenium. It is about whether this particular person believes in learning and upskilling. in automation or not. Selenium is more like a standard. Okay, so most of the times people will ask you questions, at least on a basic level in Selenium, even though the interview is on Playwright. Okay, so Naveen is asking, the session is incredibly high energy. Oh, yes. Energy is contagious, guys. That is why my sessions are super power packed, actually. Energy is high. Okay, ultimately, that is one thing I want to tell you. You will be able to attract a lot of people if your energy is high. People don't want to stay around with the people who are lacking energy, who are feeling dead. No. Okay, you want to be full of energy, full of life. People want to be attracted towards you. Yes. Okay, really appreciate how you simplified the concepts. Oh, thank you so much, Naveen. Love this particular feeling. Thank you. So Shikha is also asking, are we starting regular classes from tomorrow? Will it be demo? No, no, no. There won't be any further demo. So this demo, see, what is this demo all about? Demos just to give you a feel about whether the trainer is actually good or not, whether he'll be able to answer your questions, if he's patient enough to answer most people's questions. Okay, right. So I think you must have got a fair idea. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be starting from JavaScript basics. So make sure you are joining from tomorrow, guys. Okay, so will we be able to build our professional profile with an automation project? Oh, yes. Okay, I'm not saying you should start lying that you have worked on Playwright, but after covering this course, if you are attending the classes properly, okay, even if you're not able to attend properly, even if you're able to watch the recordings, okay, I understand you may not be able to attend every live class because of some family or job commitments or whatever, right? But if you're practicing regularly, okay, you will be very good, very comfortable with Playwright. That is my goal, to make you all comfortable with Playwright. Can I make you experts? No. Nobody can make you an expert. It is your regular practice. Even I'm still not an expert in Playwright. I'm still learning Playwright every single day. Yes. Every single day I'm learning something new about Playwright. Okay. So if you think I'm an expert, the answer is no. If you're looking for an expert, this is not the course for you. Okay. I'm not flaunting myself that I'm an expert. I'm still learning. Probably after 5 years also, I will be still learning. Okay. That is why I'm always looking to learn. So I'm interested to join. What is the joining process? Asha, just drop me a WhatsApp. Oh, you guys have asked me so many questions. I'm just posting so the Zoom link mostly will be same, guys. So Sudarshan, so mostly it should be the same. But if in case we decide to change or something, we'll be sharing in the groups. So you will get it for sure. But I'm still posting my message, my WhatsApp number one more time because you, okay, 77. Okay, I've just shared my number. Whosoever is willing to join, you can just drop me a WhatsApp. I'll ask the team, they'll reach out to you for the enrollment part. Okay, and very soon we'll be creating a new WhatsApp group wherein all the enrolled people would be joining in that. Okay, so any more questions? Oh, yes, Joe, you have a question, you can unmute. Is it Joe? Yeah. I'm not sure if you're not able to.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, yes. I guess you're
Okay,
Jyoti,
yeah,
right? From Australia.
yes.
Okay,
So,
yes.
hey, so there's a quick one. So, you did share the document with all the sessions that you're taking through in the start of the session, right? The different
The Node.js.
classes that, no, your document with the structure of the,
Okay,
or
okay.
rather,
In the course
the
outline. Oh,
content that
okay.
you're planning to share. Yeah.
I'll be sharing it.
Okay, so would you be actually able to share it like as to what you'll be covering on a week per se, as in what sessions you'll be covering in what week, and how
Okay.
many sessions? Do you have something like that, or is it more content based on the content it
It is a
goes?
complete content actually. Sometimes, see, sometimes people ask me more questions. I never say no to anyone asking me questions. In that
That's
case,
very kind of you. Yeah,
see, ultimately this course is for you. Why do you want to join a live course?
yeah,
There are good courses there on your YouTube
absolutely.
and Udemy, right? You
No, absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely. So if you are joining a live course, you are joining because you need more hand holding. You're looking for somebody who's there to help and guide you.
Mm.
Okay, right? So okay, some people are asking me some questions. So we'll learn how to build a framework from scratch, or we're just learning how to write individual test cases. So we will be actually integrating all these test cases into a framework. Naveen, Nishit is asking, I'm someone with almost 17 years of experience in the IT industry. Will I be able to switch to Playwright? Justify the switch, and what kind of opportunities will be there for a 17 years experience? Nishit, this is something most people actually ask. I totally understand what you're saying, especially with your experience. Okay, I understand opportunities don't come so easily, and I totally understand. So I would suggest you can reach out to me privately, and I'll be able to help you and guide you. So guys, as I mentioned, right, this is more of a mentorship program. So the question what Nishit is asking, the answer may or may not be applicable for you. Okay, right? Some of you may have some questions. You may need some career guidance or something. I'll be there to help you out. Okay, unfortunately, when I was at your situation, when I was at your experience, nobody was there to guide me. So I learned the hard way. So I'm trying to make it easier for you so that you don't have to figure out things the hard way. That is the reason you want to join this course, because you want to learn from somebody who is there, have walked your shoes. Okay, no problem, Nishit. I'm just there to guide and support you all. Anjani is asking, what is the sequence of installation VS Code and Node? There is no sequence as such, but without installing Node.js, Anjani, you cannot run JavaScript. So ideally, you want to install Node.js first. So Node.js will automatically install JavaScript. Okay, let me show you. So I hope you are not able to see my screen. Quickly, I'll show you. So let me share my terminal. So Anjani, I hope you're able to see my terminal. So after installing Node.js, you want to run this command node space -v. And if it is giving you a number, it means Node.js is installed. Now you can install VS Code and run JavaScript. Without installing Node.js, even if you install VS Code, you will not be able to run JavaScript. But within the browser, okay, within the browser, you can still run JavaScript even without installing Node.js, because browsers have their own execution environment, which is different than Node.js. I hope you understand. Okay, so that's your answer, Anjani. So Dhaval is asking, this class gets enough knowledge for, oh yes, Dhaval, we will be learning JavaScript and TypeScript in detail. And if you practice it, I can guarantee that it will be easier for you to crack any kind of automation, or you can say any JavaScript or coding based things. Why? Because we'll be covering things in detail. Okay, so some more questions people are asking. Okay, Anjani saying yes. Okay, Poonam is saying, can you share the installation steps documentation so that we can be ready for tomorrow's session? Oh yes, Poonam. Will be sharing this. Let me share this document with you guys in the chat itself. One sec. Meeting group chat. So, okay, so guys, I have shared this document with everyone. Yes, Anjani. So guys, this is for you guys. Whatever I'm sharing, whatever we are talking, everything I'll be passing on to you. Okay. So, and yes, some people are asking like, will you share the recordings? Yes, the recordings are for lifetime. Okay. Except, so only for enrolled people, you will get the complete recordings. But I would request you, other than Australia people who, because it is 9 o'clock here, for Australia, it will be maybe 1:30 or 2:30. I know it is not easy for you. You may not be able to join live, but see guys, energy is high in the live session. Okay. Watching a live IPL match is different than watching it on television. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, so energy is of course high here. Okay, so live classes are definitely better. So that is what I would recommend. So try to join live as much as possible. But if we are not able to, that's okay. You will still get the recordings. Okay, and you have my number anyway. If you have any questions or doubts, feel free to reach out to me. Okay. So some people are saying, I just sent you a LinkedIn connection request. Okay, right. I'm about to max out my LinkedIn connections actually, because I think after 30,000 connections, you cannot join. So let's see. Any other questions, guys, you may have? Feel free to ask me questions. And even if your question is not answered now, you may be able to think of more questions. You can drop me a WhatsApp personally. I will be able to help and guide you. So I see Dhaval and Poonam are unmuted. You want to say something, Dhaval or Poonam?
Yeah, Piyush, what do you think in the coming years
Mhm.
AI will take over the automation? Because the only worried part we can see that in the Bay Area, I'm in the Bay Area, so companies are start using the AI more towards the automation side. They keep
Exactly.
reducing their people. So,
Okay.
what do you feel that how it will be taken over by AI in
Okay.
automation even?
I totally understand what you are saying. I too had the same questions initially, but after studying AI in very much detail, so guys, we are actually in the process of launching an AI course also, AI in testing, just to give a quick heads up. Okay. Now, coming to your question, Dhaval. So, I would just say that even if AI is doing majority of coding, there should be somebody, a human, who wants to validate, because AIs can hallucinate a lot, in case if you know. Okay, AIs are also robots.
Yes.
They can make a lot of mistakes. You still need a human to validate it. Like I've seen so many companies laying off their entire IT folks, thinking that now we don't need any QA people because AI will do the testing for us. They made a big mistake. Big mistake. Yes, AI is doing a lot of things. So personally, I feel AI should be more like a partner to me, more like a peer partner, more like a vibe coding thing. Okay, right? So
Mm.
I would suggest, yes, you should learn more about AI, but don't think about that AI will take away your job. Yes, always keep upskilling yourself, especially in today's tricky times. You want to learn more about AI, testing AI, automation. Automation is not an optional thing nowadays. It is a mandatory thing. Even if they give you job, even if they're hiring you for automation later on, they might give you a manual project. That's okay. But still, you should have at least automation knowledge. Okay. So again, I won't say that AI will completely take away the jobs. No, not at all true. Not at all true. You still need a human to verify stuff. A lot of humans. One person cannot do everything. Okay.
Second question is, Piyush, the VBM is launching. So how you feel that VBM versus Playwright? Because again, companies are starting moving to again looking the VBM advantage and all the stuff. So I see
Okay.
that some VBM hype started creating.
Right. Okay. Yes. I'm also seeing a lot of VBM height also created. But see, the goal of VBM is not to replace Playwright, firstly. Okay. So the goal is completely different only. I'm also still exploring VBM. VBM is a very, very new tool. Okay. Nobody can claim that they are VBM experts. Or if you will not, you might probably start seeing some JD saying that we are looking for 2 years VBM experience. Yeah, in India, we might see something like this. We are looking for experts in VBM with 2 years experience. How come? VBM is not there in the market. VBM just got launched by Jason Huggins in I think in December 25th only. Okay, so it is very very in early stages. So it is hard to say anything about VBM because VBM is very very new, just 2 months old actually, just 2.5 months something. Okay, yes, you should keep your eyes and ears open. That is what I meant. Start exploring around. Okay, don't just rely on only one income source. Don't just rely only on one job. Okay, always keep your eyes and ears open. And like VBM is coming up, yes, you should at least study a little bit about VBM and how is it different from Playwright. But don't worry, guys. VBM is not definitely going to just replace Playwright. Not at all. Okay, Playwright has a different goal only. Playwright is also coming up with a lot of AI integrations and all. Okay, and it is backed by Microsoft. Okay, very very powerful backing. They know what they are doing. Okay, they know what they are doing. So don't worry. So Anjani is saying gone to the dock, roughly can't find. So Anjani, I'll get back to you on this. So I would suggest just drop me a WhatsApp, Anjani, and I'll be able to help you. Okay. Any other question, guys? So Poonam, you have also have a question? You're also unmuted, I guess. Oh yes. Do we have a use case of MCP? Yes, Vikas. We'll talk about use case of MCP towards the end. Understanding AI is critical these days. We should know. We should know AI. We'll also talk about generative AI. What is generative AI? Again, most people don't know what is generative AI. Like ChatGPT is the simplest example of generative AI. You can generate text, you can generate some content, you can generate images. Okay. Nowadays, we even have something called a generation of videos also. Yeah. Okay. AI is growing big time. So how do I see AI? I see AI more like a partner to me who's going to help me maximize my productivity. Like I just showed you that tool, no, wherein I was just speaking and it was typing. See, this is how I use AI. It helps me improve my productivity. I don't see it as a threat. I see it as a partner who's going to help me enhance my productivity. That is how I look at it. Okay. Any other questions? No questions. All right, guys.
Piyush,
Yes, Sudarshan.
is it a only weekend batch or there will be some weekdays batch also?
Okay, so Sudarshan, this is only a weekend batch. Only Saturday, only Sunday, 2+ hours each.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And even after this demo gets over tonight, and if you maybe think of some more questions, okay, you can share on WhatsApp. You can share on the group on WhatsApp or whatever works for you. Like, okay, I see one more message. Thank you for the informative session, Piyush. Appreciate your energy. Thank you so much, Jyoti, for this. Okay. This is one thing I want to tell people. Okay. Show with energy and excitement and enthusiasm, and people will want to know you. People will want to do business with you guys. You all should work like this, actually. Energy is contagious. I'm getting a lot of WhatsApps now. Looks like I have to spend the next 1 hour replying to WhatsApp messages. Okay. So looks like I think we are good for today. So, oh, I see Amit Bakshi also. Hi, Amit. So I was just looking at a WhatsApp message. I'll reply to your WhatsApp. I see 300 messages. I'm, and you know,
Thank you.
yeah, I can't reply you right now. So, okay. So I think we are good for today. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. So I'm really glad to see you all and asking me some good questions. So I'll give you enough opportunity to ask me questions. Okay. Not just in demos, even during the classes also. Okay. After every 15-20 minutes, I'll give you opportunity to ask me questions. Okay. So, right. So I think we can meet tomorrow. So please join before time. I'm very, very punctual. So the classes are at 7:30. Okay. But you can join maybe by 1 or 2 minutes early. So people who can join early, I can interact with you a little more. Okay. Just like I was talking to some of you. Okay. Yeah. So Shikha, thumbs up. Yeah. Thumbs up, Poonam. Okay. So
Hi, Piyush.
hello, Nishit.
Yeah, I just wanted to, curious to understand whether Playwright supports any mobile automation.
Okay, that's a very interesting one. So Playwright supports a mobile view, but Playwright does not have a native mobile testing support. For example, if you're talking about testing your, we can say, mobile apps like Android or iOS, that is not supported.
Okay.
In that case, you want to use something called as APM tool, which is a dedicated tool for this.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Right.
mobile emulation is possible. You can simulate your application to look like a mobile view, and that is allowed.
All right. Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sidhu.
So Piyush, this is Asha. Will you be guiding on installations or
Yes, absolutely.
we have to
I'll
have
be.
it ready by tomorrow?
Don't worry that I just shared the documents that I'll not be showing you how to do it. So if you want, okay, let us do one thing. Tomorrow, the first thing what we'll do is I'll show you how to install all these things. We'll talk about the Node.js installation. We'll talk about the VS Code. Okay, everything will cover tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, so guys, I'm there to help and assist you only. So Roshan is saying I did not attend complete demo due to network issues. Will be able to. Oh yes, absolutely, Roshan. I will be sharing the recording. I guess there are so many groups. I'll be sharing this recording in all the groups, wherever you are. And if you have any questions, any doubts, reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm there. Okay. So I'm currently in Pune location, guys. My family is not here, so I'm spending the Valentine alone. So you can just talk to me if you're also feeling alone. Okay. So okay, so thank you so much, guys. So I'll be really looking forward to guide you. So please join tomorrow well on time. Okay, so we'll start with the installation part, then we'll move on to the basics of JavaScript. Okay, I'll make you confident in JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, trust me on that. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Okay, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye bye.